Howdy everyone, this is Tricia and welcome to my channel. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? I wish I had videotaped in there. Alright everyone, tonight I'm going to be making a pinto bean casserole. And here I have a 1 pound can. It's 1 pound, 3.7 ounces of whole pinto beans. So these are ready to go. I just need to drain them. All right, we're gonna need some sausage, or you could use some ground beef. This is either gonna be mild sausage or a spicy sausage. That'll be your choice. I've got here some bratwurst, and I've taken 3 of them and defrosted them, so I have them ready. And I'm also going to be using a can of Ro-Tel. This is a 10-ounce can of Ro-Tel. I'm going to use a box of Jiffy corn muffin mix. There you go, there's a size, 8.5 ounces of, and I'm going to be preparing this as the box asks, and I believe it asks for an egg and some milk, as you can see there on the side. So that'll be prepared as is. If you do not have this, you can use whatever cornbread or corn muffin mix you want to use, something quick and easy. I'm going to be using half of this yellow onion. I'm going to cut it and chop it up real nice and well. I'm also going to be using this easy melt cheese. Now you could use a Velveeta cheese if you prefer, and I probably say go ahead and use that because obviously this is from my grocery store, and of course HEB isn't everywhere, so use your favorite easy melt, and if it's Velveeta then use that. I'm going to be using some minced garlic. You can mince up some fresh garlic if you prefer. This is completely optional. I'm going to add some whole baby Bella mushrooms here. Actually, I'm going to chop them up. I'm not going to add them whole. I'm just reading the packaging because I wanted to make sure I had that right. So I've got some mushrooms here that I have left over from a package that I've popped open, and I'm going to go ahead and use them because I don't want them to go bad. So this is completely optional if you want to use mushrooms or not. Okay, I'm also going to be using bell peppers. So I'm going to use these little mini peppers. As you can see, they're orange, yellow, and red, but you can use regular bell pepper, and if you only want to use green, then just use that. And then I'm going to season it with some salt right here, some ground pepper, and some garlic powder. And what I do not have here is some cumin, which I've decided that I want to go ahead and add there. All right, here are all the veggies all chopped up. I've chopped up this half an onion, and it's about maybe half a cup, a little bit more, and my bell peppers the same amount. They've been chopped up, and I've chopped up all those mushrooms that you saw in the little bag. Okay, let's get our meat, our sausage cooking. So I've got a pan, and I'm going to put some olive oil in there, and I'm actually going to remove it out of the little casing. All right, here I am browning the sausage, and I'm breaking it up. I don't know, I feel like I keep saying kielbasa. This is a bratwurst, just in case you want to know what I'm using. Okay, that's all. All right, my sausage has cooked, and you can just cook it as brown as you want. If you like it a little bit browner, more crispier, you can go ahead and do that. Just make sure it is well cooked. I have this now about 9 minutes that I've been cooking it, and it looks pretty good to me. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in a bowl, set this aside. Any fat that's in here, I'm going to go ahead and leave that in there, and I'm probably going to add a little bit more olive oil in there. And I'm going to go ahead and saute my onions in that because I want that meat flavor in the onion. So I'm going to be using the same pan. All right, here's the onion in the pan. I am going to saute it till they're kind of a little bit, well, they're translucent for sure, but they're a little bit brown. So this is going to take a little while, probably about 10 minutes. All right, here are my onions, and they have been sauteing for about 8 minutes, and they have become translucent, as you can see. I want to caramelize them a little bit, so I want to get them a little browner. But at this point, I'm going to go ahead and add the bell peppers that I chopped up nice and fine, so they can also start cooking with the onions. All right, so I'm just going to mix in the bell peppers with my onions, and then just spread everything out nice. All right, here's my bell peppers and my onions, and they've been cooking now for an additional 4 minutes, and I like the way they look. I could caramelize the onions a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and stop at this point because I'm really hungry, and I'm going to throw in the mushrooms into my mix here, and just mix them around, and I'm going to cover this up and let this sweat a little bit for a couple minutes, 2 or 3 minutes, and let the mushrooms cook. And all right, while my mushrooms are sweating and cooking in my pan, I'm going to go ahead and prepare the muffin mix. It asks for 1 egg, so I've got that in there, and I'm just going to mix it up in there. And I'm also going to use a 1/3 cup of whole milk. Use any milk that you like to use. I am using whole milk. All right, my mushrooms are nice and sweated into this covered pan, and I've uncovered it now and turned off the heat, and they're nice and cooked. Well, let me bring this up so you can look at it close up right there. Take a look at how that looks. It looks nice and delicious. All right, so let's go ahead and start mixing all our ingredients. All right, so I've got a bowl here where I've dumped my beans. So let me tell you a bit about this can of beans, just so you'll know what I'm using, in case you want to do exactly what I've got. These beans here contain some tomato paste. They have onion, salt, and they have jalapeno pepper in them. So it's up to you if you want to use something. You want to look at the ingredients in the back of a can and see if that's what you want to use in there. Maybe you've made your own beans and want to use some fresh ones. So that's just up to you. So if you do not have them with jalapeno, but you would like to try that in there, go ahead and add that in. Now remember, my Ro-Tel also has some diced chilies in there, and this one has habanero. I wanted it hot, but that's up to you on how hot or how mild you want it. If you don't want any chiles, again, make sure you get some plain beans, and make sure you just get some diced tomatoes. I'm going to put about, I don't know, that's about almost a teaspoon of garlic. That's up to you how much you want to put in there. I've already added salt, just a little salt, some pepper. I put lots of pepper in there actually. And I've actually added some ground garlic. And that is just garlic powder, not garlic salt. So I'm just going to mix these up. Now I'm going to throw my onions and my bell pepper in here as well. I've got a baking dish here. This is an 8x8 dish. You could, of course, you could use a 9x13. This is nice and deep, so I feel like the size is just fine. This is a non-stick baking pan. If you don't have one, go ahead and spray it, prepare it, or maybe even line it up with some foil. And then we're going to go ahead and start layering our casserole. All right, so I've got my pan here, and I've added my sausage at the bottom of the pan. I'm going to pour the beans mixture that I've made. I've added the bell peppers and mushrooms into it also, and I've mixed it all really well. That is going to be topped off with this cheese. Now, if you do not want to use this type of cheese, you can use any cheese that you prefer. Of course, make sure it is something that is melty. Now, this recipe was actually sent to me via email by someone named Edward. I don't know if that was a male or a lady using her husband's or something, their email, or maybe that's her last name. I don't know. But this was a recipe that was sent to me by email, and I decided that I'm going to go ahead and try it. Now, in the recipe, it said to add sliced Velveeta, but as you can see, cheeses like that are hard to cut into slices. And of course, it's been sitting here in room temperature, so it's softened up a bit. So what I decided to do was just make it into little cubes. It didn't say how much. Of course, you could buy sliced Velveeta, little separately wrapped slices, and put that on top, or whatever other cheese you want to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and add as much cheese as I feel like is adequate to my taste. So go ahead and do the same. Add very little if that's what you prefer. Use a cheddar, use a mozzarella, whatever you want. All right, so I've poured, or actually placed some cheese in there, and I'm pouring this bean mixture on top of that, and then I'm going to put some more cheese on top of that. And then I'll top it off with this cornbread mix. And here we go. This is ready for the oven. The box of muffin mix says to bake at 400 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. But then again, I did put this on top of something that has liquid, so I feel like it might take a little longer. But I'm going to go ahead and go with the 25 minutes for now. I went ahead and I upped the temperature on my oven because I had it at 375. So I've actually upped it up to 395, not 400, because I really don't like to have it that hot. And I put this on a cookie sheet, a little baking sheet, and that's going to go in the oven right now. The oven just told me that it's ready. I'm going to put it in there, put the timer for 20 minutes and check it, and then I'll let you know how much time it actually took, and we will take a test. All right, it's been 20 minutes, and I've decided to check my casserole here. I've had the timer for 20 minutes, as I said, and it went off. So I'm going to check the cornbread, and it's coming out clean. There's some little areas here where it cracks open, and you can see the cheese in there. This is coming out pretty clean. So this cornbread on top is done. Look at that. Let's go ahead and cut into it. I'm going to cut into a corner here. Not really sure how to serve it because I feel like this is all just going to go falling apart. So I'm going to grab my big old spoon to serve this. Let's scoop that out. Let's take a nice close-up of how that looks scooping out. Look at that. With all the cheese melting in there. And serve it up right here. All nice and pretty. Let's take a look. That looks fantastic. I say we take a big old taste of it. All right, I'm actually gonna put some Tabasco sauce in here, and I've gone ahead and I've actually poured a little bit more onto my plate. It makes a really nice big serving just to cut off a little corner there. And let's look at that. That looks delicious. Nice crunchy cornbread on the top, ooey gooey on the inside with some sausage, bean, and those beautiful veggies that I used, and of course some cheese. I'm gonna give myself a big old thumbs up. I hope you will give me a big old thumbs up as well. I hope that you will try this recipe, and thank you to the person that had emailed that to me. I really enjoyed it. Hope many of you will try it and enjoy it as well. Let me know what you think at the comments down below. Leave a nice comment. Again, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already done so, and share on your social medias. And thank you all very much for watching. And as always, enjoy.